Well, what's the crack? Welcome back. Today we're going to ask a very big question. Is Horizon still worth playing in Season 22? Does she need a buff? Does she need maybe another nerf? Who knows? Let's discuss that. See you all in about 10 seconds, dudes. Ah, Horizon. My old friend. Hated or loved, she's a bit like Marmite. Some people love her, some people absolutely despise her and want her out of the game completely. Today we're going to break down how she performs in the meta for Season 22, but before we do that, let's kind of go through her abilities for some people that maybe don't know or are new to the game. So her passive is called Spacewalk. What that does is it allows her to have a bit better movement in the air, so she's a bit more better air control, and she's reduced impact to fall, which basically means she glides along the ground from like very large heights. She was kind of the first big like mobile movement legend. She did kind of bring that power creep into the game that we've seen over the last couple of seasons. So I understand why people don't exactly like her, and she lends herself very well to controller players. Her attack is called Gravity Lift, or her Q. What this allows her to do is allows her to lift herself up into the air and also her teammates. So this can kind of disrupt the flow of a fight, but it can also help you get out or reposition, and also maybe just drop on someone's head and fry them with an SMG or an LMG while bunny hopping, which you see most people do. And then her ult, or her ultimate, is the black hole. So this is where Horizon deploys Newt, and it creates a black hole that sucks people in. It gives them a big suck. And what that does is it makes them easy targets for you and your squad to shoot at, but it's also good where you can preempt nades, so you can actually throw the nades into the ult or throw them where you think the enemies are going to run away from the ult. In past seasons, Horizon's been really strong pick for both mobility and team utility. Particularly, you would have seen her being used a lot in ALGS. But how does she actually hold up in Season 22? That's the question, isn't it? When we talk about Season 22 in Apex, there's been so many changes and a lot of legend balancing. And to be fair, Horizon over the past many seasons has had her fair share of tweaks and nerfs. While she hasn't really seen anything drastic this season or recently, the overall meta shifts have kind of have affected her indirectly. The movement is still meta, in fairness though, her mobility is still key, and that kind of, I suppose, passive and tack that she has, or the Q, does keep her quite relevant, especially in high mobile team comps, so where you need help using the likes of Caustic and stuff to get them around the map a little bit better. In terms of counterplay, a lot of people have become quite familiar with how she works, so people have figured out a bit better how to use it. Some people have been using Ashe to counter it by using Ashe's arc snare. So it has been a lot harder to execute those kind of clean escapes or repositions, I suppose. Please ignore those shots. I don't know how I got away with this gunfight, but he somehow died. Say no more. Help my teammates, we live. One thing that is for sure though is the update to the weapon meta has definitely inadvertently kind of helped Horizon. So particularly in those long range engagements, her ability to kind of move and get out of the way a lot better definitely does lend to her. But the question does remain, is she top tier? That depends on your playstyle and how well you can capitalize on her strengths. See, people have been using her since Season 7. So people are very well drilled in how to use Horizon, and even though she is getting weaker, I feel people are still able to get the better out of her. And that's just an honest reflection on the way the season has gone. Can Horizon still shine this season? The answer in short, in some cases, yes. So she still keeps high ground pretty well by using her Q, so this is one of the fastest and most reliable ways to take high ground, and that can be critical in early and late game, especially for rotations or just to take ultimate height and win the game. Her mobility, so the combo of the Q and the passive, makes it really hard to pin down in fights. If you're good with movement, you can think on your feet. It really allows you to have that kind of dynamic playstyle, keeping you one step ahead of the enemy, but also allowing you to get out if the enemy isn't as familiar with how Horizon works. Her synergy with other legends has been well known. It pairs really well with people like Fuse and Bang with the explosives and the smoke, so you can deal damage using the clusters. And things like the tack then can allow the likes of Rampart or the likes of Caustic to be able to gain a bit of mobility that they lack. And then lastly, not really as much in the meta anymore, but her and Valk worked really, really well together as a pair because of the aerial mobility of the two of them. When we look overall at Horizon and perhaps her weaknesses in the game, she has them, like everyone else, so there is some challenges. One of them is particularly legends like Ashe, as I mentioned, or another Horizon, or even a Wraith, can punish very predictable gravity lift usage, and to be honest, so can any decent player. If you go up in a straight line in the queue and don't actually strafe whilst in it, you will get absolutely fried in the air, and you've made yourself an obvious target to a whole team once you come up out of cover. Very dependent on team coordination, particularly the ult, because you do need all the nades and everything, and the team has to be in a very specific place for you to get them all together. So it's very easy to waste the ult. Lastly, doesn't really have any defensive capabilities, but she isn't a defensive legend, so I understand that. But if you do get caught out of position or you do get isolated, as I said, the grav lift can actually get you killed in those situations. So, to be honest, while she excels in mobility and positioning, Horizon can really struggle in situations where you have to bunker down and sit in the defense because it completely removes all of what's good about her kit. When really should you be picking Horizon in Season 22? First one's pretty obvious if you need mobility. As I mentioned several times, it does help with some of their Legends' weaknesses. It gets them around the map if you don't have the likes of a Wraith or a Pathfinder on your team. If you're confident in your position as a player, you can take those isolated fights, and you can really control the high ground and dictate the kind of flow of how a fight actually works. And lastly, if you like combination plays, using the Black Hole with a little bit of other legends who use those explosive type of ults and explosive tacks, you can really get some really chaotic endgames by doing it, or just very easily win a fight. To be honest with you, Horizon is still a solid pick, especially players that do like that kind of mobility. She's definitely not as dominant as she was in past seasons, but she can still be pretty strong. The one thing I would say, to answer the question, does Horizon need a buff? There is one thing I would love to see changed about Horizon, and that is on the blue armor, Horizon gets two of the most useless perks known to mankind, which is to see bats inside a death box or to see nades inside a death box. I understand nades are useful when you combine them with the ult, but other than that, they're completely pointless. It doesn't serve justice for what actually is her kit. I do understand they do want to keep her balanced and don't want to make her overly strong again, but I think just a small tweak like that would definitely make her healthier than she currently is. The TLDR of this whole thing is, yes, Horizon needs a very, very small buff, I feel, just to bring her back on par with some of the very strong legends that are in the game at the moment. We'll get in and talk a little bit about this gameplay while we're here, I suppose, as well, and just to see how Horizon is actually in-game at the moment. So, on a nice one here, 6 kills, 4 assists. Teammates are actually very, very good players, to be fair to them. I played with them in a game earlier. It didn't go so well, but this time around it obviously went quite well. 4 teams left. We're on the edge. You'd be expecting one team to come from Terraformer, and possibly one team to come from over towards perhaps where the Mandy impersonator is. So go and having a look over here. Have a quick look. He sees there's someone here. Get some decent shots on the fuse. Pressure him back in. We're going to push up on the right hand side here. Hopefully I don't get isolated. Just going to be careful here. Not overswing this door. Throw my ult in. Make complete shite of it as per. Wrap back around the other side to my teammate so I don't get singled out by the other team. So we double swing the door together. I've just seen one of them here. Shin on the right hand side. Dead. And again, just playing a bit slower here, waiting for our third teammate. And they're up above here, so I'm going to press this left hand side and pre-fire. And thankfully he was quite weak because I would have died otherwise. I can actually hear one on my right here, so running up the stairs, following back down, and lo and behold there was actually one behind me. I could hear him creeping around. So we have a new team in here. Gonna have to try to deal with that. Teammate's doing a good job while I'm just healing. It's absolutely sending him with a Q. And I struggle to finish this, so he gets a nice finisher for himself.
This wasn't really one for the history books, was it?
One more is coming. I can hear his footsteps on my left. There he is. Literally 3 beams. The poor devil nearly killed me. I also thought I had a hemlock. That's why I was tap firing the button. I was not using the hemlock. I was using an R3. The R3 is strong, and a purple mag Havoc is still ridiculous. Just into the final one, there was a solo Loba left. Teammate said that she was by the crafter, so I went and checked, wrapped around, and she was very weak, so dead. And GG. That was a nice game. We move on to the next one where we get another dub.
You are the Apex champions.
You would have seen this clip at the start. This is absolute mayhem, and it gets even worse. Slow in between. So see this Octane, try to get a few shots off, doesn't work. He's fighting here on my left. I see the Ashe cross, get good shots, and then also onto the Rampart. She gets her wall up, but it doesn't come up in time. RE45 off drop is pretty nice, dudes. Have to say, it's pretty nice. So I've heard another one here at the door. There's a res, and take the kill, get a freebie. Teammate's still pinging. There is an Octane here. He's 1 HP. The fence saves his life. I don't think it's even his fence, but teammate gets the kill. So we're going to go back and just res our teammate. Can someone tell me what the skin is for Maggie, because it's so sick. Really like it. Super cool. And again, there's more. Our teammate didn't even get a chance to heal up. So just picked up an R3. See an altar gone inside. Teammate gets the kill.
Attention. Evo harvesters are online.
Teammate says chaos. Because I'm not on keyboard, I have to stop and stand still and say yes, it was in fact crazy. Just try to get some loot here now and get ready to go. Here another bit of fighting in front of us. Yeah, this POI is chaos, honestly. It's a lot of fun though. If you come out here alive, you've probably won the game and you probably have 4 or 5 kills, which is always nice. Definitely helps the KD. Teammate's keen to go in. We're going to try play up with him now. Just a little bit slower, getting a bit of loot. Going to play for him on the right hand side. See this guy here. He's held the door. He's just about got the bat off before me. Teammate helps me out there. Probably could have got it, but I would have been pretty weak. So, one of my teammates is in trouble here. Literally got thirsted very quickly as well, so I'm just getting him to play outside with me. And I'll hold the angle for him while he heals. Ashe has checked to see if we're there with a Q. And I don't know what happens to this ult. It gets stuck up in the corner. But we do have a bit of a speed boost. And they've put down walls. That's the Rampart to put down the walls. She got clipped. Gonna just make the sensible choice here. Grab the banner and go back and just insta-res, because this can go very south quickly. So want to get our teammate back as quick as we can and re-enter the fight as a full 3. That's it, just getting my teammate just to cover in front of me while I get the res off. Just having a look around, see if there's anything behind us, but we would have seen it by now if there was. Pains me when that happens. You try to get the care pack and it just goes behind the cliff and you have to sit there and do nothing. I think my teammates are actually from the UK. Was talking to them a little bit in game chat, and a little bit towards the end of the game they came up on the mic. Seemed like really nice dudes, to be fair to them. So lads, if you're watching, what's the crack? There's the Ashe now on the door. I'm just waiting for one of them to swing. None of them swing, so I'm just going to try to get a bit of loot. It's been stuck, so I'm just going to throw that to help. See the Ashe crossing. get some decent shots, but I'm also very weak myself. Need to heal around the corner. Take my -5 seconds Q, so getting a little extra one a bit quicker. And I can hear him healing up on my left here. He's just hit the door. Teammates just informed me he's beside the door, which he is. Made him pretty weak. Teammate gets the kill.
What? Jeez, we're filling up the hospital today, eh?
I swear to God, pubs is actually harder than ranked at times. I think I'm back in silver or something, and I haven't played it yet, but I'm definitely going to play a couple of games and get a couple of videos on this just to show you what the difference between pubs and ranked is like, because silver in pubs is going to be an absolute joke, to be honest with you, and I'm looking forward to it. Don't think I'm going to go for diamond again this season. It's just way too much time to go into it. I reckon if I had a full 3-man, I might be able to hit masters one time, but I just don't have the capacity to do it. I'm a little bit too busy with work and creating content for you guys twice weekly at the moment, so it's keeping me busy enough as it is. So 5 squads left. Not really high on the kills this time, but we'll work away. Excuse me, there's 6 squads left. Gonna go double light here for an R3. Just clean up the scraps on the loot. I know it's a little bit slow, but hey, what can you do? Just gonna follow my teammates now. They wanna head this way, so I'm gonna go with them. Hit an evac tower.
Let's go over there. I'm bored here.
Just taking a rotation, see if we can find some of these other squads left. Should be down here. If not, we'll be alright. Have a bit of time to chill. That was a bit of a chaotic start to the game. Take a nice little slide down the hill. Relax. And the care pack is Mozam's, and I am going to get me them. Most busted guns in the game. We both know that. I do like this sight on the R3 as well, I have to say. The 2-4. So I'm just telling my teammates I'm just going to grab this. Hopefully don't die on the way to it. Spoiler, I don't.
Need a wee rejuvenation.
Teammates are just waiting on edge for me now while I go and collect this. Again, always just looking around, making sure that I'm not getting hit from some sort of a strange angle here.
Replicator incoming.
Thought these would be more contested than usual. These are pretty hot property in the map. Like, once you have these, you shouldn't be losing a 1v1, put it that way. I have an evac in the pocket as well, like pick one up now in a sec, so I'll use that to rotate out here. Four squads left, only 11. So this is what pubs is like sometimes. It just gets quiet towards endgame. Like, there's no one within an ass of us, and I think we're only at zone 2.
Close, and we've got
And there's only 3 full teams. And possibly even 2 full teams and 2 duos, so we don't actually know. Heading over this way now. Just checking for that evac, and there it is. So it'll just help us with our rotation a little bit, get us there faster. Put us in a good position for endgame. Stick around to watch the ending of this because it's absolute chaos. Just wait to see what one of it does an Octane, and wait till you see what he does, man. It's absolutely comedy. He is on crack. And he gets absolutely shit on as well, which makes it even better. Just rode in now. Not seeing that, and usually the team would be on these buildings as well. So, very, very odd. But, get a free rotation inside.
Let's head in that.
Asking my team, can we go play inside? Just play mid here because, judging by the zone, it's probably going to end somewhere around here. Teammates are still doing a bit of looting. I kind of have everything I need now, to be honest. Maybe in a bit of a better stock. But with the Mozams and the R3, sweet as, to be honest.
Fancy a wee stroll this way.
Trying to get my teammates to come here and take this up. Just looking around, seeing what's what. Teammates getting shot at. Just gonna grab this bat. This is where the Octane comes absolutely flying. Can hear one of them climbing up the wall. And here is the Octane. He's absolutely flying in there. He gets beamed. And there's a guy in my head. So this is where the ult comes in a lot, very handy. Ult goes up. He has to go back up too. I'm going to retake my Q. And he's getting a good old suck. So Mozam's go to work here. Teammate knocks him. Super weak Bangalore. And that's that team wiped. That was a good team as well, so we had to be very, very careful there.
Shields recharging.
Just batting now. Expecting a third party at some point here. Yeah, love how that Octane. I was like, fucking hell, he was flying at him. No one is here, so we're just going to hang around and just loot up and keep our positioning while we have it until we figure out what we're going to do next. And there is someone gone.
Let's go over there.
Down to 2 teams now, so the second team has killed a rat or killed a team of 2. So we're just going to press out towards this. Teammates just wanting to play edge here, so we don't let them in for free. It's very unlikely they are behind us, so we had to check over this way instead.
Oh my, a replicator's popping back.
Can see them here crossing. So just waiting to shoot till I get shots, waiting for my teammate to come back with us. 13 blue, huge damage. Teammates going hit. Teammates just going straight in. So going back to beef with him. Get some good shots, take a bit of pressure off him. And I'm just going to try and split these because 2 teammates on the left. I'm just going to try and get free shots here. As you can see, Wrecking Ball stuns him. Free shots there on Nemo Marshmallow. Lifeline here, super weak. And a charge senti from a Pathfinder. He's getting the res. I'm getting pressed hard by the lifeline, so I can't stop that. Nearly made a bad mistake here and tried to fight against that. Made the better call, took the bat. And this is what I mean, sometimes you just keep hitting the bat, they won't kill you quick enough. And I got away with it, but I don't get away with it the second time, unfortunately, because they reloaded themselves or something again. Teammate goes big balls here for the ending, dudes. Enjoy it. And everyone, if you found this video helpful, make sure to leave a like and drop a comment down below on your thoughts about Horizon. Are you still using her? Have you moved on? Does she need that buff that I was talking about? In my opinion, she does. And as always, I hope you all have a great day, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.